Yeah, my problem is that I have like thousands of projects that I want to finish at some point in time. This is the classic ADHD kid thing, right? And then I get like bursts. And so I've been writing for a while, like a zine, and I started an article, and that article took on a life of its own, and I don't know what to do with it now because I'm pretty sure the FBI will show up on my door for the article because it's called Unconventional Clown Fair.
Okay.
Right? And the idea behind it is I'm expressing things that are funny and then things that are not funny. And so the stuff that's funny is things like voting for your local congressman, registering to vote, writing to an alderman to fix something in that's all of that is very funny. You should go and do that stuff. What is not funny is taking a bunch of muriatic acid and pouring it on concrete infrastructure. Don't do that. That's bad. It's not funny.
Oh, I see. Don't do that.
Yeah,
please do not do that.
Yeah, do not stockpile polyurethane and mix it with gasoline and have it. Don't do that. That's bad to do these things. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly the problem is the FBI should give you a medal for that. You're telling people not to do these things.
That is not funny.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Yeah,
how can they punish you for that?
There's a list of things that are funny and a list of things that are not funny. In a way, though,
it could be funny because you've got somebody, if you pour the acid on the concrete, someone's going to write their alderman to get it fixed.
Yeah, so I mean,
that is the life cycle of comedy.
This is the cycle of comedy.
Yeah.
You solved it, actually. I think I know where to go from here. Right?
So I should expect a knock on my door as well.
Wait, so what is this?
Unconventional Clown Fair is the working title.
Okay.
Right?
I like that this is just like updated guerrilla warfare, essentially.
I wouldn't go that far. I would just say that it's about...
you wouldn't say it's not funny. It's not funny to do guerrilla warfare.
It's not funny to do guerrilla warfare.
It's in the book.
It's very funny to vote and to expect your Congress people to work for you. That's funny to me.
You know what you could like probably use for this is the new Pump.fun their new project, their new thing that they'd started. What do they call it?
They're calling it the bounty, the Go Bounty system.
Yeah, they're calling bounties is all right.
Let's start the show. Welcome back to Kill the Computer. Strap in for this one, guys. We're doing a news episode. We've brought in our friend. Actually, you know what? They're actually at this point, it's been a while since you've been on, so there might be some people who don't know who you are, Marcos.
Yeah.
Marcos is on the roster for sure. We've got some stuff we're working on behind the paywall for a little side series that's slow but will come out one day.
Yeah.
Bunch of times on the show. Got your own podcast, Homie Vulgaris.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy?
It's sick. You know, we recently had a recent something that I've always wanted. Back in the day when we first met, I had a podcast called The Ain't Shit Show.
Yeah.
The goal for The Ain't Shit Show was always for other people to start making their own Ain't Shit shows and just releasing them like that in the wild. Recently, we had our first test run with that with Homie Vulgaris. I couldn't do the show. Ivy was sick. Ruben had a fucked up schedule. And two homies that are in my Discord, two listeners, two fans were like, yo, can we just do an episode? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I made a little section for them in our Discord for them to like ask homie questions. And people answered and they did it. And it's probably one of the funniest episodes I've listened to in a while. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I have succeeded. This is what I've wanted. As I wanted a podcast where the host is like potentially the entire world. Where anybody can
You'll
do
never know who it'll be next.
Yes. And that's what I love about the show. It's just chaotic. It's psycho. The audio quality is varyingly wild. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's great. Who knows? Who cares? That's the whole point of the show. Right.
That's an awesome concept. I love that you're just like, hey, I don't know you. We've talked maybe.
Well, there are homies that I trust because I'm afraid I would never do that to people that I like that are like, you know, a guy DMs me. I wouldn't let that guy. I would listen to it before I posted it is essentially what I wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt, but I would listen to it first. I would be like, okay, all right.
You're open-minded.
Yeah.
But no, Marcos is the elder homie, as many of us call him.
Yeah, and also June, of course, is here with us. How are you, June?
Hey, great. I just saw, I don't know if you guys know anything about the Amazing Digital Circus or what that even is at all, but a couple of my friends are really into it. The final episode was released in theaters, so I just got back from a theater experience watching a YouTube like animated show, and it was lovely. I don't know if you guys saw any of the like discourse on Twitter about how like the creator of the show needs to be killed for the last episode because it was like leaked and everything. They were like, we got to kill her. We have to kill the creator. We're gonna have to do horrible things to her because of how this episode goes. And I'm just sitting over there. I finished it. I had never watched it before yesterday. I watched the first 7 episodes. Watched the movie, and I was like, wow, that's nice. What a nice little cute show. And meanwhile, people are online talking about doing like a fucking coup at the animation studio.
It reminds me of Homestar Runner. Right? I don't know enough about it, but like there are things online that I see, and I'm like, that's the Homestar Runner fandom but in a different form. Because it's people who hate that guy. People, they want to kill him, but they consume it.
Are you talking about Homestuck?
I might be talking about Homestuck.
Because Homestuck absolutely
I think I'm talking about I think Homestar Runner is something that's also awesome, but the fan base is rabid and insane. I know I get DMs at least once a week.
Base, do they?
I don't know. I get DMs once a week being like, oh, you remind me of Strong Bad. And I'm like, I have no idea who that is, and I kind of
do remind me of Strong Bad. That's
that is Homestar Runner. So maybe they're both just maybe Homestuck and Homestar Runner are just
what the hell is Homestuck?
Oh God, dude. I'm actually surprised you've never heard of Homestuck. It was like I never played it or read it at all, so I am not the person to talk about it. I just have an interest in the fandom and community around it because it's been a long running series online from like maybe the mid to late 2000s and like early 2010s, and it was just like a comic of that this guy, I'm blanking on the name of the guy, but he just wrote it. It got a huge fan base. It was really interactive. It was like animated in some segments. It was massive, and it got to a point where the fan base started to turn on him. And so my interest in it right now is the same friend that I watched Amazing Digital Circus with used to be really into Homestuck, and she was telling me about how the community, the fans, sort of turned the creator of Homestuck into a lol cow. And there's like this massive document sort of documenting a lot of this harassment and like how it happened and where it happened. So I've been digging through that actually.
I have heard a little bit about both of these from Madison, co-host of the Lost Show. She's told me about some of this, but it's just not really been on my radar.
Fandoms, I don't like enjoy fandoms by any, but like I don't like what they like, but I like watching them. I got sucked into like the rabbit hole of like Super Who. I think it was the Super Who-Lock.
Yeah,
the Super Who-Lock fandom.
Days.
Yeah, in the back, I'm old, right? So like that's where I cut my teeth, and I remember that being like one of the most toxic fan bases of all time. And
fandoms get fucking bloody, dude.
Yeah, I remember they had beef with K-pop. And I remember it being like a civil war in there. It was insane.
How do you have a beef with a genre of music?
Because K-pop fans are crazy. Sorry to say it.
K-pop fans are pretty crazy.
They are essentially, they're doing clown fair. They're doing unconventional clown fair.
Yes, it is. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it is funny. No, it is funny because don't do it.
It's not funny what they're doing. Yeah, what they do is not funny.
It's Stranger's joke, man.
Yeah.
But no, I've been digging into the like whole Homestuck like law qualification process to maybe actually put an episode for the show together at some point, because we recently talked about Club Chalamet, and I felt like that was sort of about fandom and how fucking insane the internet is. So
if Madison is listening right now, I bet she's like screaming, probably already texting me to come on for that. So maybe we'll
put something together. I'm still digging through this piece that my friend sent me.
Awesome. Well, we're here today to do some news. That's where we kind of turned the corner there. With this Pump.fun news that the June kind of started out with. Before we get to that, I just want to throw it out there that I was reading about this today, and there's like an independent study about Pump.fun said that it was like 96.3 or something or close to that, 90 something % of all of their coins are rug pulls.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
Anytime I ever see, so we talked about Pump.fun recently. I can't recall why. Like
But
maybe
Chud the
last
Builder,
month.
that's where he made his fortune.
That's where he was streaming. That's what it was. But like anytime other than that I've ever heard about Pump.fun, it is about how a bunch of people got rug pulled by some bullshit. Like this is it's just a legalized, I think, legal scam website.
Yeah, the rug pullers also get rugged, which is very funny to me.
Yes.
One of the ones that I heard about recently was a guy who threatened to shoot a goldfish live. He was holding he would do live streams with a goldfish in a bag, and he had like a 22, and he would point it at the gun at the goldfish and be like, "Get my valuation above $1 million." And I think he got it to like 10 or 15 million, and then when it was all settled, he ended up walking away with $250. So he did all of that, honestly, for $250.
I'm glad. Yeah. This guy's a real piece of shit.
People like this.
I'm mad that he got.
Have you ever looked at the website?
Yes, I've spent a lot of time on there. Yeah, it's bad.
There's like the N-word coin. There's like the official Nick Shirley token, even though it has nothing to do with him. It's just like
I'm pretty sure back in the day, someone fucking made a goblin mode coin too.
I watched a guy set himself on fire. And then he however long he was like he kept setting himself on fire, separate instances. He live streamed it when he would get a certain market cap, and then he would set himself on fire, and however long he did it, however long he could stand it, he would then that would be the next fundraising goal. And I remember like, you shouldn't have done it the first time, and you've done this 4 times in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like it's madness. It's genuinely the Wild West. It's like a Cronenberg. Yeah. Like it's awful. It's ugly.
I don't really understand. Like, why are there? So obviously, I know why people get involved in this on one level, where they create these scams and they want to rug pull people. Why are people like? Is this just sort of playing chicken with each other? Is this sort of just trying to like? Sort of like gambling in a sense, but trying to be before the rug pull. Like, is it just a bunch of people essentially playing chicken with their money?
Yes, there's something a little bit, but there's something a little bit more insidious that's going on here. Like I would actually say that like it's like Whatnot. Similar, like
my other favorite website.
Like Kick is kind of the thing that started all of this. Like, if you really want, it was Justin TV, it was Twitch, right? But like, but like that's how it all grew. But where it went from being like a growth vector to like something that's malignant and cancerous on society, it really comes from like Kick.com. Because Kick.com was started essentially as a gambling website, a live streaming gambling website
with stake, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and that changed, and now it's just a degenerate platform where you can say the N-word at a certain amount of times, and then there's a certain amount where you can't say it, and then
until it becomes a problem for the ownership.
And then so that's how that works. But Kick then like spawned underneath it Pump.fun, and I would even say Whatnot.
It's connected. Wow,
they're not. I wouldn't say that they're connected, but like
they were just people that were users of it. So they're like fucking teens and 20-year-olds from the UK that started Pump.fun.
Yeah, and then the Pump.fun and Whatnot are both satisfying this like desire to have an audience, and it's like to not just have an audience, but to have like it's an attention economy, and where the loudest, craziest, scariest, most psychotic behavior is rewarded with
it's
attention.
Like a vaudeville horror show.
Yeah, and then that attention is directly monetized towards something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So I mean, Chud the Builder being the best example of that, and like especially with Whatnot is like the auctioneering aspect of it too. Yeah. Yes.
Which is weird. Like, who tips a guy you're going to buy stuff from? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm confused by that entire platform, but okay. Right, here we go.
It's an odd one.
If you don't tip them, they literally don't send you your items, as we found during our episode on Whatnot. I didn't tip the guy, and I got like one of the 3 things, the correct things that I bought or something. Like,
it's just there's so many tools to easily scam people these days.
Yeah.
Well, the new one, that's Pump.fun. We've talked about that a little bit. Pump.fun, whatever. But they announced a new thing today, a new mission, and that is the Pump.fun Go bounties, where anybody can essentially I could say I'll pay somebody $100 to dress like a clown and go eat dog food in front of Chuck Schumer's house, right? Or whatever. It could be anything.
Honestly, I'll take that.
Yeah, $100.
So send it now. I'll do it.
and you can do it on Pump.fun. Do you remember it was the June? I think this was the Kalshi guy. We talked about this forever ago, who was like, "Oh, this is just what the future is. Like everything's going to be a prediction market. I can just post that like." I will post on the prediction market that someone will deliver me a burrito for $5 plus the cost or whatever. Mm-hmm. They took the idea
and they fucking did it.
And they did it. And it's just today. I wasn't actually planning on talking about this until I saw the news. Like it's going to get somebody killed within a month. I mean, come on.
It's the thing is, so I'm on the website now. It's running. Like it started already. They announced it and you can already look at any
bounties yet. Is there any good ones?
I'm scrolling through them. Nothing catching my attention yet. I'll have to one of them, which is an $82 one. It's mixed ketchup and eggs and drink it. That's a weird one.
I'll do that. $82.
Say
there's
less.
just burn $1.
How many eggs?
Let me see. Let me.
I might be changing my opinion here, guys.
It doesn't. There is no amount stated that you need to do, and there's a video. It looks like somebody has done it. Mm-hmm. There's a submission of someone doing it. But no, basically, it's like the financialization of everything, though. Like this is sort of like we've been in this process for this to happen for a couple of years now. It's sort of rushed into normalization with prediction markets just replacing polling, like at CNN. Well, not entirely replacing, but it's like talked about in the same way that polling is, of course, because there's that Tide paid sponsorship. Yeah. But it's like we are like fully just financializing everything now.
This isn't new because I remember on Fiverr, I remember people paying random Indian guys to Heil Hitler and say PewDiePie is my favorite Nazi or something like that.
That was Fiverr.
Fuck, man. I forgot about that.
Ancient. I'm bringing up ancient. I could sense Caleb's like distress, right? Like just like
well, there was a time when a big chunk of my income came from Fiverr, dude.
Yeah. It's an evil platform, but it had some moderation, right? That's the kind of
it's very normal now. It's just a normal freelance website. It's saturated as all get out, but the thing is the difference between Fiverr is that, right? Mm-hmm. Eventually, after so many controversies, they had to kind of. Oh, wait, I didn't think people would be this insane and evil. And they started moderating things. It used to be a whole thing where you could make your own gig. And so now basically as a freelancer, you just advertise your service. But before you could just be like, I will pay somebody $10 to draw a thing or do the PewDiePie, Hitler, whatever. Yeah. And people from poor countries would just do it. Now they've taken that feature away and it's just, I'll do X for Y money or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah. And I mean, this is even a little different. This isn't like going to a specific person and being like, hey, can you do this thing? This is just like, can someone do this or will someone do this? Here is a certain amount of money for that. You're betting
that somebody will do it, essentially.
Exactly. Like the Kalshi guy could quite literally just be like, hey, like do what he wanted. He could do the food delivery. Like I'm sure he probably has at this point, just to be like, I told you so.
I was kind of hoping that I mean, it's not going to happen because then the world would. I mean, it might. Who knows? I've been wrong before. I'm kind of hoping I'm wrong on this one, but I'm hoping that this turns into like an assassination speed run.
Yes, that was my first thought.
Yeah, like it's just like, hey, listen, $40. This guy's got to go, and that's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's even called bounties, though. Like, how can you fucking call it bounty and it not like that not come up at some point?
Yeah. It's right.
That's what's going to happen, dude.
I do think that this could be used for unconventional clown fare. Where you could just be like, I'm $500 bounty for pieing this guy, for hitting this guy with a pie. And that's cool. I think that's cool. Well, I would say it's not funny, but it's cool.
It's certainly an interesting thing that's happening in the world right now. This is probably going to happen. But it is like, that was sort of my first thought is like, I feel like maybe that won't be like explicitly stated currently. Like, hey, go kill this fucking guy. Mm-hmm. But I could see a world where that happens.
Yeah,
you know,
where you can
like
Prank this guy who owns a bunch of guns and they don't disclose that part. Whatever, right?
Oh shit! Like reverse swatting almost.
Yeah,
Like,
you ever
Yes,
prank
dude.
someone
how
so
works,
hard that they are no longer alive? That's a pretty good prank.
I mean, give it time, dude.
Yeah.
It's really fucking bad. I really hate how I had this. It's nothing mind blowing. It's been this way for a while, but I was just thinking earlier about how, especially with like the SpaceX index fund, that whole ordeal, and the IPOs coming out for like OpenAI and Anthropic soon. It's like the entire economy is just speculation and gambling, and it makes total sense to me why like Pump.fun bounties exist and will probably continue to grow. There will be more stuff like this if nothing changes, if we keep going down the same path, because this is just sort of the economy now. Everything is gambling and speculation and markets.
We've also done
stuff like that.
In America we did this in the 30s, but we also like historically, like from a humanitarian perspective, we keep doing shit like this. The Dutch did this with tulips, which is probably arguably dumber, right? I think
at least it's like a pretty thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I get it, but also like the economy being imploded over like sports gambling is kind of not as, it's stupid, but it's not as dumb as being like, these flowers, pal, fucking to the moon, pal. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like
to the moon.
Yeah, like that's,
these are gonna be big someday.
Yeah, these flowers. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So
this will only appreciate in value forever.
Yeah,
this flower will never wilt.
Yeah, it's gonna suck no matter what. But I mean, like it has to happen. I feel like in some way, right? Just I don't know.
It feels crazy to me that we have not seen like a major like burst at this point. Like it just keeps bubbling up and expanding even more. We're
so
like on the cusp.
I was like looking at some of these bounties. There's only a couple hundred of them up so far because, like I said, it just came out today. It's like, you know, skydive into the World Cup and get a tattoo of this crypto thing, stuff like that. But if we're talking about the economy getting doomed, this wasn't really on the docket for today, but I think it's here. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying really hard not to doom. What's that? Yeah.
We're on the cusp, certainly.
Well, because, you know, with this, we talked about this, a lot of this with Mike Isaac just the other day, of like the SpaceX IPO of this just really insidiously bad stock. And like Ed has been on Bloomberg talking about this recently, and he has an article coming out soon that I really can't talk about, but he'll be on the show, I think, to do some press about this. And like, you know, whatever company it was dropped the equity requirements to purchase SpaceX IPO from like
Fidelity,
thank you, to almost nothing. Back in April, it just went into effect the week before. Weird. The IPOs to you don't have to have any equity to day trade, which has been an important backstop to prevent people from ruining their fucking lives. They're going, as we talked about with Mike, straight into index funds. SpaceX, Anthropic, and OpenAI, all apparently they're going to have maybe a 15-day window and they're going to go straight into it. So what that means is, by default, if you miss that, by default, basically every pension and 401k in America is going to own these dog shit stocks of these companies that have never been profitable. That's going to tank the economy. That will, if somebody doesn't do something fast, very fast, that will destroy the economy. And then you look at what our politicians are doing. Almost all of them are saying nothing. And Bernie Sanders, I was like, what does Bernie think about this? He says American people should own half the AI stocks. That doesn't do anything, Bernie.
I was like, Bernie, my sweet baby boy. He doesn't understand.
Once again, I am asking the American people to do insider trading.
We all collectively do it together.
Jesus Christ.
There will be no downturn, no economic downturn if we all do it.
Is maybe Unconventional Clown Fair might release sooner than I thought it would. Maybe I should get cracking on this a little bit faster. Maybe I just need to get this out to the
release your article, dude.
Yeah, I think I got to describe about, you know, you could take two nails and bend them upwards in like caltrops, and you could just drop them places. You know what I'm saying?
You're just honking your nose.
Yeah, it's not funny to do that, but you're capable. It's very easy to do, actually, right? You don't need to be very strong to do it. Right, nails are very cheap for now.
No, not until I get them on Pump.fun. Not until I make a stock meme coin out of it. It's going to the moon. It's just that's the crazy thing though, is that it's like all of these different companies and people all at the top are obviously colluding together on this. Yeah. We hit a point in the economy where the line wasn't going up to their satisfaction. It started to maybe level off a little bit, and they were like, you know what, we could we sort of like manufacture, at least this is what it feels like to me, they're sort of manufacturing this fucking moment with AI and like we're lining their fucking pockets. I think Ed actually said it. I think I watched that segment of his on Bloomberg where he was sort of saying like this is their way, this is the tech industry's way to exit the
liquidity.
Market.
Exit liquidity through retail investors. Yes.
Yeah, and it fucking clicked. He said that. I was like, fuck, dude. That's what this fucking space index fund is. That's what these different AI companies going public is. It really fucking is. They're gonna like force us all to fucking sell their souls to Elon Musk.
What is that guy?
Because they wanted more money.
Who's that guy? Who's friend of the pod? Steve Bannon, right?
Yeah. He's so frequent. He's been on the show just as much as you, actually.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Steve Bannon. One of the things that I like. Steve Bannon's evil. I'm not gonna. There's not me giving his flowers. Dude. He's a
Epstein associate. Yeah. Horrible dude.
He liked Epstein, like on a interpersonal level. That's like insane to me. They were homies. They were girls.
They were taking cute selfies together.
Only genuine friend.
Yeah, which is great. But I read articles because I'm a sicko, and I read stuff that he wrote. And one of the things that he wrote that kind of was like not enough people are talking about it. The strategy, everyone remembers the flood the zone strategy of like too much info makes people crazy. So if you give them a ton, they'll forget. They won't be able to hold stuff. The other, in that same flood the zone strategy, something else he talks about is not predicting the next instability, creating the instability. By creating the instability, you know where to short. Mm-hmm. You know where to buy the dip. And once that dip is dipped, you know you can pull out. And so like a lot of this makes sense. A lot of the like our ruling class, our Epstein class, even fucking, like just like governors, senators, mayors, your aldermen, right? Like all these the only exception being one mayor in New York right now currently. But like what I'm trying to get at is that like it makes sense that all of them are planning this chaos. They want this. They're colluding. They're doing the plausible deniability of, oh, my hands are tied. Oh, it's not. I don't have the perfect conditions to do this kind of thing. I don't have enough votes. I don't have enough participation. I don't have the budget. We don't have, and that is essentially them having this plausible deniability for letting the wheels fall off the track so that they can predict where it's going to go. And like, once you think of it that way, unconventional clown fair starts getting real funny again, right? I don't know.
I totally agree. I mean, I think people like Bernie Sanders, I don't think he's in on it. I think there are people that are easily fooled by a lot of this stuff, but there are absolutely so many fucking figures. Like, I think to what your point is. Yeah.
For the first time in my life, the closest thing that we've ever gotten to like seizing the means or whatever is Bernie Sanders doing this. And he chose fucking AI to do it,
that's
bro.
Like about to explode, probably with the token cap.
To kind of get us back on track, I do want to talk about this one thing. And I want to say the only time I've ever seen actual anti-fascist legislation in the entire history of America was Mayor Zohran Mamdani fucking repealing bedtime. Even if it was temporary.
He did an ultimate anarchist victory, dude.
I literally, when I almost did a backflip. I almost like did an actual back. I almost did the splits, happy, laughing. This is the most joy that has ever. I'm like, they're beginning. Primordial fascism is something people keep fighting me about, that it's not real. And
for context, everybody, this is not a thing that Marcos is just now coming up with. No. In fact, this was like a year ago. I was on your show, and you guys were like screaming at each other over whether or not we was fascism.
Yes,
I was like cry laughing because you guys that's the most mad I've ever heard any of you guys.
Because people believe that fascism means something, like it's a word. It only happened post 40s or in the 40s, and then shut up, dude.
Shut the fuck up, Umberto Eco. Marcos is talking.
There has always been an impulse of control.
Yes.
People want control, right? Monarchs have existed anytime that, and like, if you want to get real, like crazy schizophrenic about it and just psycho, if you think about these things, it all boils down to caloric deficits of like who is eating and who is not. This is where people lose me. So I'm not going to get into that far, right? That's I don't want to scare people this, but I will say that there is and has always been people who want to set rules for thee, but not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And one of the most primordial aspects of that is bedtime. Right. And like, once you are aware of bedtime, like, and I don't mean like as a, like the concept of bedtime, like the aware that bedtime exists for a reason, and you should like have a bedtime. You should also be aware that violating your bedtime is necessary sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's hard to explain. This is real, like, crazy people ideas.
No, I know what you mean though. I mean, like, there's like to your point about like control, and especially around like, because I think if I remember correctly, Zohran, he did it for kids' bedtime.
For kids,
like specifically
yes.
Children's bedtime, so they can watch the Knicks. Finals.
Fuck the Knicks, but that is pretty good.
It's really funny. But like, there is so much, especially around like childhood, there is so much like exertion of control over children in a lot of different ways. I think like bedtime
with no
is
explanation.
Like,
as
like
to
that's
why.
like sort of a funny one in a way, because it's like, oh, it's bedtime, like the kids are gonna go to sleep. But like, I mean, there's so many different ways where different ways to illustrate this where it's like it's because it's like one of the things. Sorry, really quick, I got it, but it's like a very topical example of this is the erosion of children access to puberty blockers in a lot of different states is like this exertion of control over children in that way.
Mm-hmm. This is children have agency. Children should have some opt-in into society.
Yeah.
The way that society has worked for thousands of years until very recently. Well, I mean, like, everyone's society and civilization is like different, but they all had like these rites of passage where the rite of passage was it was explained to you why you have to do these things. It was kind of like from birth, it was not because I said so, because it was kind of like an opt-in thing where like, well, this is the way it is because this is the way it makes sense to us.
You're a growing boy and you need your sleep.
Yes. and things have changed. Honestly, I think I mean, if you want to get real fucking crazy about it was the Gerald Ford presidency that changed everything. But I'm gonna lose people. I'm gonna
get into the weeds. I'm fascinated. What did he do?
Gerald Ford is the devil. How everyone feels about Ronald Reagan and Satan is how I actually feel about Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford is the avatar
he gets a pass
of pure.
Because they made him funny on The Simpsons.
Yes, and he is one of the most evil bastards of all time. Dude, he is every single problem that we are now dealing with can literally be traced back to the Gerald Ford administration. It's insane.
It wasn't even
being out of control.
Reagan.
That was Gerald Ford, dog. Right? It was like the economy being a complete sham. Guess who invited all of his homies and relax and set a precedent for other presidents to come in to just establish, like, anyway, I'm trying to be normal here.
You've read Nixon Land, right? And then he also did the same author did Ford Land. Yeah. I believe, right?
Yes. And that's where, like, for me, how I got into the Gerald Ford thing was a podcast, I can't remember their name, Fourth Reich Archaeology, and I fell down the rabbit hole of Gerald Ford, and I was like, oh my god, I was reading it like just like, oh no, I was wrong. Like, I thought it was Reagan. It was where it's been longer.
There was
than
someone above him this whole time.
Yeah.
I can't say I know a lot about Gerald Ford or
that's
like exactly
that's
what he
genuinely
did.
by design. That is genuinely how it works. But regardless, I'm getting away from what I was trying to get at. A lot of children's first like brush up with like fascism is their parents telling them no, right? And to you, like, I'm not saying, this is not me saying that like that's fascism, because sometimes your kid shouldn't eat 30 gummy worms and then, you know what I'm saying? And then there are limits of that.
By the way, the Reagan Land author did not write, or the Nixon Land and Reagan Land author didn't write about Ford. I was thinking of a different one.
I got you. But ultimately what I'm getting at is that like there is essentially, if you're not explained to as a child why things are a certain way, it becomes ingrained in you that it must be that way. And then this idea of your participation as an adult is implicit in that same way is how you define your adulthood. So what I'm getting at is that, like, if when you were a child, your mom used to tell you, don't go swimming after you eat a meal, 30 minutes, wait, right? And they never explain to you because you could get a cramp. They just say, just don't do it. Never do that. Right. Don't ever, under any circumstance, do that. It might put a fear in you where you just stop swimming because, oh shit, I'm at the pool party. I just ate. Oh shit, I'm just afraid. I'm just not gonna.
Like maybe someone's gonna yell at me.
Yeah, I'm just not a water person. And that person has kids. And then guess what? Those kids don't swim because they've closed themselves off because they weren't opted into something. And like, this is just this is like me being crazy and saying, but no,
like you're so right about this. Like it's sort of a conversation about like optics and like argument in a sense. It's like at the base level. Yeah.
And there is a primordial fascism that is fear. It is like where all fascism, the root of all fascism is fear.
100%.
It is a primordial fear. It is a fear of the unknown and an unwillingness to explore and expound on that unknown. Right. It is this feeling of these new people are dangerous, not these new people are people like me and we're all the same. Right. And like that's this continued, it is like ingrained in us socially, and it compounds and it compounds and it compounds, and it becomes all these weird abstractions that we can't really separate ourselves from. And then some fucking crazy bastard goes, you know what? Bedtime abolished just for one night. And then
for the Knicks.
And for like a minute. Children, but on top of that, adults kind of look up and be like, huh, bedtime's abolished. And they start thinking about like a larger sense of like, what else could we abolish? What else could we accomplish? If we, you know what I'm saying? If we can remove, the
structures around us in society are a little bit more malleable than I previously understood.
Yes. And so it was exciting for me. I know I'm being a crazy person here, but I fuck heavy. It's hard to explain any of this stuff in like we only have an hour, and I don't want to chew all this up.
We can go a little bit longer. We can go a little longer if we need.
But like what I'm getting at is like primordial fascism is fear. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of everything. And it ends up becoming authoritarian because people want control. And I've been thinking a lot about like how our government works. And our government works right now. It's a fascist government.
Yeah.
Off rip. It is a daddy state, because that's what like fascism, authoritarianism is, a want for a father. It's why the Germans called it the fatherland, right? It's like it all comes from this sense of like, I want daddy to come home and enforce the rules.
They've explicitly said this, they being a lot of people in right-wing media, even in the administration, that it's like daddy's home. I think the White House has used that messaging.
Yes. That fascist iconography is always patriarchal, but in a larger sense, it's always kind of like homoerotic and homosensual, because it's craving a daddy, an authoritarian father daddy figure.
It's exactly what Nazi Germany did too. It was very homosensual. I think that's a good way to put it, because I don't know if it like homosexual. That's sort of like it's sort of
Germany is the only one that I would say has that going on, but everything else, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because
I think that's sort of missing what it is used for. Yeah,
Japan had it with Mishima. Tojo. Like the whole was Tojo inspired Mishima, or like he got mad when they surrendered. Because he was like, nah, this wasn't, you guys didn't do the hero's death, which is, you know what I'm saying? And Mishima's gay. So like all of this stuff comes from this very homosexual, like want and crave for an authoritarian figure to tell you what to do.
Right.
The flip side of that is the mommy state, right? The I would say like Clinton.
The liberals.
The liberals, right? Because your mom will bargain with you. If you're like, Mom, can I have this? And she'll say, ask your dad. Right. Because for her, the way that she gets things done is
ask your dad is actually a really good metaphor for how liberals collaborate with fascists. I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
No, it's real though. This is like a good, genuine I love this conversation. I think about this all the time.
Yes. Mom, the mommy state is ask your father, but then also like, look, I'm going to ground your ass. I'm putting you down, and I'm putting you down deep, right? And none of your brothers or sisters are going to know why, and everyone's going to think we're happy. Your mom will dismantle you behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Right? She will break you down, and then she will always, all authoritarian, all whatever she has to have, she will like give it to the father. Let
The liberal uses the bureaucracy of the family to take you down. They're within the structures.
Which is where homie mindset, homieism, where this changes.
Yeah.
The homie model for government is cousins. All right?
Okay. The cousin model.
The cousin model. Right? Because the thing about cousins is all your cousins are fucking crazy and weird, and you know that, but
everyone has a crazy cousin or like second cousin.
Yes, and you like them, and they're family, and you got to work with them. And when you get together, you fight with them. Sometimes you take a walk with them. Sometimes you hang out. But no matter what, at the end of the day, you're all family.
Yeah.
And you're all seating at the same table, eating the same Thanksgiving slop bowl. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we as a society need to move towards a cousin politic, where we recognize the sovereignty of other cousins, and we're like, we gotta work with these cousins because these cousins have gotta work with us.
No more patriarchy, no more matriarchy, only cousin matriarchy.
Only cousins, right? Yeah. In a truly stable world, we will have the cousin revolution. I'm sorry, I'm getting real crazy.
No, this is great. I mean, there's no more stable relationship within a family than a cousin relationship.
Yes,
the cousins.
Yes. Because you recognize that you're family, and you could have beef with your cousins. You can have cousins I got beef with, but at the end of the day, we go and see each other at funerals. We go and see each other at Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? We can be civil around each other. Yeah. You just can't get us together in a room by ourselves. But with the international community needs to be treated like cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it boils down to.
We're all cousins.
We're all cousins here, right?
No, like this greater conversation outside of the cousin aspect, which I do agree with. That is real as fuck. But like this greater conversation of control and like methods of that control is like an endlessly fascinating topic to me. It explains so much of the world. Like if you dig into why Trump is doing what they're doing, and it's very intentional.
Well, not to bring him up because we did say fuck him, but like Umberto Eco did write about this in Your Fascism, like about I guess masculinity and fathers, not fathers directly, but this all being kind of part and parcel of like one of the, I think he named whatever's 11 or 14 elements of fascism. That's one of them for sure. That's explicitly written into it.
Mm-hmm. And like for me, one of the interesting things about Donald Trump, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I think Donald Trump is I think what comes next is fascism. I know it looks like fascism right now, and I even called it fascism at the beginning of this, but I think that what comes after this is fascism, because I think this is the last dying kicks of liberalism, right? Especially if you look at like the way that the world is going to look like. I'm sorry to get doomer on here real quick, but the way that the world is going to look in the future, especially with the Strait of Hormuz continuing being closed, with us not having any type of green technology to get us off of the use of fossil fuels. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that we have the capacity and capability, but we just don't have, who knows, the want, I guess, to do it. Right? The policy that demands us to do this stuff. We don't have any of that, so we just aren't going to do it. The world is increasingly going to become way more fascist, because the liberalism that drove the world for the past, I would say 50, let's say like from the 60s, is gone, right? This American soft power, this American,
it's totally gone. Donald Trump has fully destroyed it. Gone. Yeah,
and it's not coming back. And like I don't know. I think the last time I talked about this with Caleb, I think you were on my podcast where I said Jeffrey Epstein was the shadow president.
It's true though. He is.
Yeah, because I was talking about how like it doesn't make any sense for other countries to deal with us if we change presidents every 4 years, because every other country that we go to doesn't really have term limits, so we don't deal with that kind of turnover. So their policies stay in line for a certain amount of time. So from an international perspective, it's much easier to like get people to agree or work with however you want. So there had to be some kind of shadow president in America. I don't know who it was, but Jeffrey Epstein died, and then all this shit fucking popped off immediately afterwards. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
it's explicitly stated as like CIA policy. You know, say what you want about John Kiriakou, and some of the people that he's had on his show that are other former operatives or whatever. They explicitly just state, and this is everything that they talk about has to be cleared by the CIA, by the way.
Right.
And they would just say like, yeah, if we wanted to do something and the sitting president didn't like let us do it, we would just wait 4 years or whatever, because the people at the top brass, they're 50-year bureaucrats that'll be there for much longer than a president will be. So yeah,
and that's the definition of a deep state, right? Like that is the pure definition of a deep state, and we've had one for
so
a
it makes
while.
sense that you have like information brokers that work on sort of the outside or whatever, which is what a lot of people have theorized in hindsight of what Jeffrey Epstein was kind of information broker or something that would kind of facilitate some of that stuff. Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, we joke, shout out president, haha, sounds funny, like Darth Sidious or something.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah,
Jar Jar Binks is in the background.
We're making the joke so I don't blow my fucking brains out. That's really what it boils down to. I gotta joke about it, because if I don't, it's a lot worse.
Absolutely. No, this shit is, I agree with that. And I'm glad that Mamdani abolished bedtime. That was a good step to a more equitable future.
Yeah, towards getting us to a real future.
The cousin, the cousinarchy, the cousinarchy. I think cousinarchy.
What is the word? What's the word for cousin?
I don't know.
They talk about that in Game of Thrones. Tyrion figured it out because he killed his cousin, remember?
I never watched, I'll be honest.
Or Jamie killed his cousin.
Yeah, fratricides and it's not a fratriarchy.
Who gives a shit? Cousins are cool. Okay.
Cousins are the future.
Cousins are the future.
We need a cousin-based economy.
No more prediction markets. No more gambling markets. Cousin markets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Do we want to sort of? Let's move to this next one. June, you said you were excited to talk about this one, so I'll let you take the lead on here. It's the
my god. So
do you want to
Taylor
read the post, or
I think we can just talk about it.
Okay.
It's
I
not
was going to
super
say
long.
too. I would really like the tweet that I linked in the notes isn't that long. It kind of gives. She'd partnered with the Midas Project on this. Tyler Johnston. I think that everybody listening should read it. From Taylor herself, but there is a pretty good post that I'd linked in there too. That's fine, but Taylor Lorenz of User Mag, she should get the credit for that. So if you want to read about it, hit that. But we could talk about it too.
Yeah, no, this piece is so fascinating. She's been doing a lot of good work, Taylor Lorenz, about like tracking dark money, and this is like another one of those stories where.
Which is very funny, by the way, because this one, and not to take any credit from her, of course, because you're right, she's one of the few people on the beat that really, I think, does really good investigative journalism on this. But like, this one just kind of fell in her lap because they tried to recruit her. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, because that's what they sort of have been doing. Is it sounds like they have been getting like outside. So for context, it's this company or investment super PAC called Build American AI.
Yeah.
And I don't actually
it's affiliated with Andreessen Horowitz and OpenAI. And it's like Build American AI is like how they funnel dark money to people to do stuff. For instance, they were paying people thousands of dollars per video as an unsolicited ad. They pay people to fearmonger about China having faster, better, superior AI than America and what that could look like. Just kind of influence astroturfing. Basic astroturfing.
It's narrative construction, essentially.
Yeah.
And they are sort of working with different influencers. And in this case, which I think is the funniest fucking part of this investigation, is like fake parody accounts, technically, ran by the fucking guy, the one that she talks about called Doomers Are Dumb and Jonathan Doomer. One is like a fake gimmick account, one Jonathan Doomer, not a real guy, but controlled by the guy who joined Andrew Cuomo's campaign when he was running in the general election against Mamdani, that right-wing meme lord guy. Do you guys fucking remember the right-wing meme lord?
About that. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, how come I can't get a job? That's really what I'm boiling down. Why the fuck I gotta go work in the piss me off factory every day?
You know, just imagine you explaining Clownfare to fucking Andrew
like
Cuomo.
what? Literally, listen, Soros, if you're listening, dog, I'm open. All right, like I'm down to do some stuff. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're down to work with the right wing meme lord. You wanna, yeah.
You're not. Their posts aren't even that good. I'm better at
They're
posting.
bad. That's the thing is, like, if you look at these accounts, it's like they're actually
doing gay son thought daughter shit like recently. Like, come on, bro.
They don't get a lot of engagement either. So it's like it's an interesting strategy that they're just like, yeah, we're gonna pay this fucking weirdo $2,000 or however much it is to post dog shit that like 2 people see, which is, I think, sort of the funniest part of all of this, on top of just like the Andrew Cuomo guy being someone that was contacted, like how Taylor Lorenz was, and be like, yeah, you know what? That sounds dope. I'm going to get in on this.
It's just like kind of pathetic, like in scale. I have 2 thoughts on this, really. First of all, like what we found, and again, not taking anything away from the people who worked on this, because it's good that they found this. But what's pathetic is the scale. Like, they're not getting likes. You know what I mean? Like Mark was saying, that's not good. Doesn't seem particularly effective. And they like got found out because they stupidly were like, hey, Taylor, do you want some money? You know what I mean? They like try to recruit her, which is so silly. But the other thought that I have, and like, you know, and to be clear, the story does go deeper. We're glossing over a lot of it because I think that you should read it from Taylor. But like, it's one of those things where like, it's termites. For every one that you see, there's whatever 50 that you don't. So
exactly,
how many of these accounts? Because they copped to Taylor got them to admit to those 2 accounts because those are the ones that they could prove. But just know that there's gotta be probably hundreds, if not thousands, that they're doing. I say that again as somebody who in a past life ran astroturfing campaigns for a brief point in my life. It's if they found 2, there's probably 200.
It's,
you know what I mean?
Astounding just how much of the internet is probably astroturfed narrative construction in this way. Just completely fake people.
Something I'm actually kind of interested in is the fact that, so if you are familiar with like AIPAC and anti-AIPAC stuff, you know that AIPAC changes the names so it has nothing to do with Israel.
Yes,
because they're fully aware that Israel is a very toxic like property. Into like, it's, you know, if you're gonna be a marketer about it, it's got like a low Q score or whatever they're saying, right? It's just it's bad. It's a toxic brand. You can't touch it. So if you're gonna raise money for it, you got to do something with like raise money for moms or like you know what I'm saying? Or I
think they did it in Kat Abu Ghazaleh's race. The group that they created there was something like elect progressive
moms or progressive something. I know. I know what you're talking about. That's what I'm trying to allude to.
And it was AIPAC funded. Yeah.
Yes. But like AI and crypto just off rips, just like AI'scool.net pack, right? We love data centers pack. You know what I'm saying? Like poison our water pack, right? Like, and for me, it's very interesting to me that like, it's interesting to me that it requires, and this is not a dig against like any journalist that it's going into, but it's interesting to me that it requires an investigative effort because it's just so naked and on the face. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that like the extent, I'm glad that people are talking about it, but in a much larger sense, this is a problem that just exists in dark money regardless. It's a problem that AI does it. It's an even bigger problem that it exists at all. Do you get what I'm saying? Like dark money should not exist.
I mean, it's just gone so off the rails in the last like 10 years. For
PACs
sure.
shouldn't exist. Straight up, PACs should not. Super PACs should not exist. Fundraising efforts where you're lobbying. My crazy idea is that if you ever offer a politician more than $30, you just need to be like, I just say, listen, that's treason. That's you know.
That's real as fuck though. Like the amount, like these fucking different tech CEOs. I think OpenAI was involved in this, and as you mentioned, like the Mark Andreessen and some of the people involved there. It's just like they are just nakedly fucking building fake support. Like if you only see people being like, wow, I love AI, I love data centers, put the data center literally in my backyard, replace my garden with a data center. It's like to an undiscerning crowd, particularly the older people, I think in this case, for marketing on this issue. It's like they're just going to go along with it. They're not going to really dig into it until they're personally affected, which is like when most people will turn on something like the Strait of Hormuz being closed. They're like, hey,
the gas prices.
Gas is now an extra $1. This guy, Donald Trump, I didn't realize he might be a bad guy.
So one of the right-wing copes that I've been seeing about that has been that like that this is very funny, but it's not Donald Trump's fault.
Whose
right?
fault is it? What?
It's not Donald Trump's fault. It's Israel's fault, and that's not incorrect. But,
it's not.
But it's like it just becomes immediately anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Right. And then but the through line here is like at the end of the day, Donald Trump listened to Israel.
Yeah.
So technically was Donald Trump's fault. Like,
it's
he could have just been like,
he could have just been both of them.
Dog. Yeah.
It's Tucker Carlson is one of the people that has sort of been on that trail where he's he sort of apologizes, of course, for the whole like, oh, I helped elect Donald Trump. Oh God, that's crazy. Yeah. But then like whenever he tries to like criticize anything, he will only mention like Israel. Yeah. And it's like, good to mention Israel because absolutely, but it's not just Israel. It's of the United States.
Yeah, it's like one of the things that I talk about that I think that people just aren't accepting and aren't capable of accepting is that like the ugliness of the Israeli genocide against Palestinians is an American genocide because it was funded by Israel, right? In the same way, like Darfur, Yemen, all these fucking places, it's us.
Sudan too.
Yeah, Sudan. We're doing it. Right. And like it's
we're at least tacitly endorsing it by
and like that is, I would say, worse in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about Israel in particular is even though it's a relatively young country, there's a lot of history there where it's just not simple enough to say Israel or the United States. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's Israel controls the United States. I think that's more true now that Israel influences the United States than it has been in the past. But, throughout the history of Israel, there's been times where we've had a very contentious relationship with it. And it's been a kind of a mutually beneficial relationship for the last, 50 years. But it's not, I just don't think that it's as clean and neat and tidy as people would like it to say. Israel's controlling Donald Trump. Maybe they do have blackmail on him. I don't know.
I don't think they need blackmail.
I don't think they need blackmail. Exactly.
I think that they're just homies like that. Simple. I think that they're girls. I think Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump probably hang tough. You know what I'm saying?
The reality of the situation is Israel is sort of just like a United States or global Western, whatever you want to qualify that as, like a satellite state. It is sort of America's base camp within the Middle East.
It's the South Korea of the Middle East.
Absolutely. Right? That's America, a good way to put it. Yeah.
Trying to explain it. It's a suzerainty, right? If you want to, like, we don't live in a society. We live in a Sid Meier's civilization.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like Israel's atrocities are our atrocities.
Yes.
We fund, they have the alliance with the United States to be like, you're not going to fight back. The United States is going to come fucking kill your ass if you don't let us kill your ass.
And then you see like all of the clamping down. You see the flock cameras. You see all of the clamping down. You see the militarization of the police. You see them wanting to collect voter registration rolls and information so they can figure out who's who. They're trying to like create databases of people who are transgender or who rock with transgender rights and all that stuff. And like they want all of this shit because it is just all of the tools of the empire that were set loose on the world being rolling back in, which is always the case, right? And like, so, if you are interested in like, if you have like, there's a lot of Americans who I would say have no interest in what's going on in Palestine. That's not true anymore, but it used to be true. They used to be extremely true. I remember getting called an anti-Semite in 2020. Or that's what in like 2010, because I was like, I think Israel's probably not good. And you know what I'm saying? And like having to defend myself against that. But the reality of it is I just recognized just a bad track record of humanitarian track record. But what I'm getting at is that like, if you have no interest in these conflicts, if you have no interest in what like what the American military is doing in like Mindanao, which is like the Philippines, if you have no interest in what they're doing in Sudan, if you have no interest in what they're doing in like any of these other countries in Yemen and any of that stuff, if you have no interest in that stuff, you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm an American. Well, that has nothing to do with you.
It has everything to do with you.
All the stuff they're doing and learning how to do better over there is making its way back here, right? Like, all of the ugly shit that we did in Latin America in the 80s and 90s and how we were just like detaining people and saying, oh, they have drugs on them. And we're just doing the same exact shit here now, especially with the ICE detainees, right? with like literally not giving them trials, not giving them, just blackboxing them, holding them in horrible, deplorable conditions, and just saying, well, if they die, they die, and if they survive and see court, then the case just gets thrown out. And that's literally what they were doing in Latin America.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like they just continue it here, and it's just what I'm trying to say is that if you have no interest in any of America's dealings around the world, you should, because that shit will eventually end up on your front lawn.
Yeah,
in your back door.
If you need a reason other than like, hey, it's bad what we're doing to these other people.
Yeah.
Like sadly for, I think, a normal person, it does for any issue sort of does take for it to get to their backyard to really identify the problem with these issues, which is really frustrating to me as someone who like grew up and immediately was like, oh, like I have identified all these issues, and it sucks. It doesn't affect me, but it affects someone. The fact that it affects someone out there is an injustice, but
I've come to learn it in my own experience, like just focus a little bit on myself. The expectation of your morality on others will often get you more fucked up than you thought, right? The things that you think are morally wrong, the things that you think are morally bad, and the things that are just completely like anathema to you, and you think to yourself, well, everyone thinks this way, that kind of thinking will fuck you up. Because the reality is most people are not giving beyond a thought of how, and like, why should they, right? Like there's so much other stuff to worry about. I don't even think it's like malice. I think it's just straight ignorance. It's just like, I don't know. I didn't, like, tons of people had no idea what was going on in Palestine until it was in the news cycle, and it was on everyone, like the just horror was on everyone's feed in their social media. It straight up was not a thing. Like, tons of people didn't know about what was going on in Libya, even though it was on CNN all the time, and we were capable of seeing it and recognizing it. But a single person looked at Libya and was like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't like sanction them to death." Or what's going on with Cuba, right? Like, the same thing with
horrible,
Cuba, right? You can't hold this kind of like moral anger towards people that just straight up don't know, or who are ignorant because, listen, that's it sucks that Cuba's going through what it's going through, but I got bills to pay. And like, you should make it be like, hey, dog, what's going on in Cuba is going to happen to you. It's just a matter of time, right? You shouldn't. I don't judge those people. I don't hold them morally like in less standard than I would say myself. But I do definitely be like, yo, hey, if you don't care about it now, you're gonna start caring about it soon.
It's gonna be everyone's problem, not just theirs.
I just wanted to hop in, and I'm sorry to change the tone here, but I did just get some news that the S&P 500 will not fast track SpaceX into its index fund.
Oh,
so
my
fucking
God.
Hooray!
Holy shit, dude!
Certainly not the only index fund, of course, but that's the second biggest, I think. One of the biggest ones.
Thank God. That's actually great news to hear. That hopefully that's a trend.
News.
Yeah, hopefully that's a new trend.
What this means is you have to do, what would you call it, Marcos?
Unconventional clown fair.
You have to do unconventional clown. You have to do the unfortunately the funny thing and call your senators and say, don't let them fucking get into the Dow Jones or whatever. I don't know, man. You gotta just make noise, because like it does work, because you could, this would have happened if it wasn't for the almost universal pushback and how everybody reviles this shit.
I was surprised to see the level of backlash, because there's a lot of big Elon Musk boosters still, but there was a really heavy like pushback on this that I saw across like anytime I would open most of my social media.
Yeah, I think people just see this unending naked corruption and they just are tired of it, man.
There's nothing more that I want more in this life than to be wrong about everything.
yeah. God, me too.
I want to be wrong. I want people to go and do the funniest thing possible and vote their way out of this. Right? That's what I want. I want that. That would be awesome, because the unfunny aspects of this stuff, that sucks, dog. It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not. Right? God, no, there is only so much people will take as they continue to fucking plunder the world, plunder us. it's going to have to hit a point, and I think that point that will hit is going to be, I think we're here sort of. I think that backlash is real, and I think especially as this, I think these two AI companies going public with the limiting token use, with like Uber and Walmart, all of these different companies being like, actually, this is making us spend $1 billion or however much they spend and have lost.
It was only $500 million, June. Let's not get corrected.
My bad. Only $500 million. But
there's
only so
which
much.
company that was. I think it's probably Uber, because they're the only company that really like went out and was like, this shit kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah.
But I want to know who spent $500 million in 1 month on fucking.
Know.
That's so.
I really need to know
who are those kind of humans. I need to know. I cannot for the life of me understand.
Somebody who didn't understand token based billing is who that was.
They're like, it's just like Google.
Yeah, we got unlimited. It's like when a person goes over their minutes on their cell phone plan. Back when we used to have minutes,
they turbocharge that for the modern age. I love that.
Marcos, my friend, thank you for killing an hour with us or so. Where can people find you?
Homie Vulgaris on YouTube. Homie Vulgaris on all podcast platforms. Homie Vulgaris on music platforms too. I make music. It's not good.
Yeah, Unk Tapes, baby.
The Unk Tapes, yeah.
One of my favorite experiences, just generally, on any vacation I've ever been on, I was in San Jose like two years ago now, and Marcos, we hung out, and I forget where we went to a couple of places. You took me to a Mexican restaurant.
I took you to my favorite Mexican restaurant that got replaced.
No, you
by
were
some
like
fucking filthy Italians.
I can't believe you told me this whole. You were like, okay, and to give more context here, you were taking me to this place because it was like old school Mexican restaurant that had been there forever, and you're like, look at the other side of the street, and you pointed to like some high-end apartment
condominiums. Condominiums that were like all square and ugly, and
you were like, this is a fucking oasis in surrounded by this shit, and it's fucking gone. That's
it's gone.
Genuinely
it got
tragic.
replaced by something called Don's Deli. Some filthy Italians came in and took the only beautiful thing that was left in my neighborhood, and it's gone. And I literally was so mad about it. I was like, good. I'm about to go do some unconventional clown fare now. I mean, I had to, because I almost killdozered in my neighborhood like over this, because I was that mad about it. Because this is old. Yeah,
I would do the same.
Yeah, asked you. It was that place was fucking delicious.
It was the fucking goat. Some of the best Mexican. But I was gonna say, you also, while we were driving, you were driving me around, and we were doing like this and that. You played some of your music for me, and we were just like in your car listening to your music, and it was the weirdest experience of my life. It was so fun.
I make music. I make all kinds of stuff. The Discord is popping off. I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff. Someone was like, you should write. I've been working on a radio play. I've sent it to Caleb forever ago, and we can't do it. I don't think we could do it because I think DC will come and whoop my ass for it. Yeah, because I essentially rewrote Batman. So I have to.
Marcos wanted me to play Batman, but just talk like myself.
Yes, I want you to be Batman, but I want you to be normal. Because I thought I think you're the best like idea of Batman, because like he's just like a guy who's stressed out. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I got shit to do. I'm sorry, I can't save Gotham right now. Brainiac's doing some stupid alien shit, and I gotta go handle
3 jobs, and you want me to save Gotham for free?
Dude, I cannot do that right now, right? Like, too busy. I'm on Krypton, right? Right? Yeah. So that was like my whole. But I mean, I just, we got a lot of projects going. There's always something new. There's always videos popping up randomly. So we do a lot of stuff online. Shouts out to Ivy and Ruben, my co-host.
Shouts out for sure. I think we have some housekeeping. We're not announcing the names yet, but June and I have chosen a couple of. I didn't check with you. Before I start saying that, June, did you looked at a couple? We've got a couple of your favorites as well for the side load.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to be announcing those. I think the first one will drop sometime this summer. If you haven't don't worry. If you haven't gotten an email yet and you're listening to this, nobody has gotten an email yet. So that doesn't mean, if you're somebody who submitted that you didn't, we didn't pick yours necessarily. We haven't actually reached out to anybody yet. We've just internally agreed on the first few that because there's a lot that we want to do, but the first few that we're looking at producing. So keep your ears to the ground for that.
Yeah, you'll probably hear back about the side loads that were chosen, hopefully by the end of like next week from whenever.
Yeah, we got to reach out and kind of come to some agreements with some people and get gear to those who need it and so on and blah blah blah, all the boring stuff. But soon, like it's done. And thank you to everybody who submitted and who otherwise boosted the program, because I thought it was a cool idea. I am looking forward to making lots of stuff with you guys for indefinitely, as long as we're a show. I want to keep doing side loads, so really looking forward to seeing some of the stuff we can come up with that.
Fuck yeah.
So keep your ears to the street.
Cousins unite.
Cousins assemble. All right.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
See ya.
The computer.